If you asked me what key lifestyle shifts enabled me to stop wasting money, leave behind the 9-to-5 grind, and create a much more fulfilling life for myself outside the rat race, well, the answer wholeheartedly, overwhelmingly, no doubt in my mind, would not be winning the lottery, hustling really hard at a soul-sucking job for 10 years, or receiving an inheritance. So what was it? Well, the answer may surprise you, because that answer, 100%, absolutely, without a doubt, is choosing to live more frugally and sustainably. One without the other would have still moved me in the right direction, but it was the magical combination of the two of them together that propelled my efforts that much further. Hello, and welcome, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Laura, and here I talk all about the money and lifestyle choices we can make for a more just and sustainable future. It was serendipitous that my desire to live more lightly on the planet naturally fed into my simultaneously burning desire to save money and manage it more wisely. So in my own case, intertwining frugal and sustainable living just kind of evolved intuitively into what you could refer to as an eco-frugal lifestyle. But I imagine some of you might be thinking that living sustainably is the opposite of living frugally, that it involves buying lots of organic and eco-friendly products and services which are more expensive. And that can be one version of it, but to my mind, that's not truly sustainable living, especially if you're buying eco-friendly products to replace perfectly good ones you already have. But there's another version as well, one that centers on relying on your resourcefulness and consuming a lot less, thus spending a lot less money. Truly sustainable living that restores, rejuvenates, and repairs people and planet doesn't require you to buy more. It involves buying less, a lot less. Note to self, that's probably a topic for a whole other video. Well, okay, but back to this video. The point I was trying to make is that sustainable living doesn't have to be expensive, and it can be easily paired with frugal living to help you craft a more financially resourced life of true wealth. So let's dive a little deeper into the 5 major reasons I choose to live so frugally and sustainably. First, it creates financial resilience. Needing less money to meet my needs and cover my expenses has given me much more autonomy and agency over my life and time. That's because it helped me feel far less beholden to a job and allowed me to design my escape from the rat race. Not that I don't want to work, but I don't want to work a 50 to 60 hour a week job where the work feels meaningless, becomes a source of stress or anxiety, or contributes more to our social and environmental challenges than it contributes to the solutions. By spending less money on stuff I don't really need, I have more money available for the things when I really do need money to access them, which leaves me far less fearful when expenses do arise. It's not that I'm cheap or don't spend money, but I do it much less often than most people. And I try as much as possible to ensure that my expenditures are investments that help maintain or increase the value of my portfolio of true wealth. I want those expenditures to stay on my holistic balance sheet or that of my community, like the several $1,000s I spent having work done on my house to make it more hurricane resistant. That idea of a holistic balance sheet is a topic I cover more in depth in this video if you want to check it out later. A viewer recently commented on another video of mine that she had heard of a Swedish expression that went something along the lines of, "When you buy things that you don't need, you're stealing from your future self." It's so true. Living sustainably and frugally helps me lay a solid foundation for myself now and prevents me from stealing from my future self. The next reason is that it vastly improves my quality of life. There's this perception that frugal and sustainable living result in deprivation and suffering, but I find the complete opposite to be true. Beyond helping me escape the rat race, this approach has made my life better in so many ways. It's pushed me to figure out how to do things more on my own and made me more resourceful. And it's prompted me to trap my creativity far more than I could have ever imagined for someone like me who can't even draw a stick person. Not that I tap my writing or drawing or more artistic skills, I'm living creatively. And that's led to me connecting more and learning from other creative and resourceful people, expanding my social network in a really positive way. It's led to me getting to know more of my neighbors and forming a solid circle of like-minded friends through our local time bank, permaculture groups, and local swap meets. And it was through my interest in sustainable living that I met my boyfriend Albert. Our shared commitment to not wasting money or stuff plays out in our relationship in many positive, meaningful, and fun ways. And this pursuit of frugal and sustainable living has led me to discover and savor a multitude of frugal luxuries that don't harm people and planet. Like the delicious meals that Albert prepares for me with fresh food from his own garden, along with food that we rescue from grocery store dumpsters. And then enjoy daily eating outside on his back patio, looking out at his amazing food forest. And this has all definitely led to me leading a much healthier life. I ride my bike and walk a lot more than I drive my car. I garden more, I eat more garden fresh and foraged foods, prioritize free outdoor activities. I buy used furniture or find it from friends that no longer need it, so I'm not exposed to the off-gassing of new furniture. And those are just a few examples of how frugal and sustainable living make my quality of life so much better. The next reason is that it increases my resilience in general. More than just improving my financial resilience, living frugally and sustainably increases my overall resilience. Since it's become abundantly clear that we can't rely on government, corporations, or nonprofits to save us, living a frugal, sustainable, and simpler lifestyle are excellent preparation to better navigate late-stage capitalism, growing economic instability, and climate change. For example, I don't run my AC here in Florida in the summer, both for financial reasons and sustainability reasons. I use fans and other more passive, low-energy cooling methods instead. As a result, being used to not running the air conditioner here in Florida, I'm far less uncomfortable when we lose power for a week here after a hurricane. And that would also be the case if we ever start to experience power outages or brownouts due to our declining electric grid. Plus, the additional sweating is like a free detox, drawing more of those toxins out of my body. I'm far less reliant on gasoline or negatively impacted when it's not available after a storm, since I drive my car so little and can just hop on my bike to get around once the storm passes. Certainly, I don't need to spend as much money on gasoline in general. Then there's the fact that all that connection I have to my community through borrowing more and sharing things and seeking out creative and resourceful people to learn from them means I have a large pool of wonderful and talented people to turn to when I need things. These connections to neighbors and people with useful skills are always beneficial, and even more so after hurricanes and other major climate disasters, which we're experiencing more and more. And then, of course, growing and foraging your own food makes you a lot more resilient when there are shortages at the grocery store. Pretty much all of the foods that I forage have some kind of medicinal properties, and they're so much healthier for you than what we can buy at the grocery store to eat. The next reason is that it thwarts capitalism and consumerism. Just like frugal living and sustainable living became intertwined in my life oh so many years ago, so are the forces of capitalism and consumerism deeply enmeshed in each other. After all, our shopping, spending, and consuming of things and resources feeds that insatiable capitalist machine, making billionaires and corporations richer and leaving us with a lot less money and a lot more stuff we don't need and didn't get much value from. Since corporations and hedge funds continue to look for ways to extract more money for us for even shoddier products and services, and our government seems inclined to allow them to do this, I definitely don't want to leak any more money than absolutely necessary out into that destructive corporate economy and into the coffers of those greedy billionaires and corporations. I can't completely escape capitalism, but living within my means and in more eco-conscious ways helps me plug that leak the best I can. And it allows me to live with more integrity and in alignment with my values. Which brings me to my next and final reason, because I would like a livable future. Certainly there's an ethical component to sustainable and frugal living in terms of doing less harm to Mother Earth and all the creatures that make their homes here when we consume less stuff and resources. Beyond just honoring my values, though, there is a less altruistic and more practical line of thinking at play here. Why would I want to spend my money and lead my life in ways that destroy the very future I'm trying to prepare for? I want to live on a healthy planet, surrounded by other people who are flourishing in vibrant communities. It doesn't feel good when other people are suffering unnecessarily, especially when there are enough resources for everyone if some of us stop hoarding them. Plus, I want future generations to be able to experience the awe and wonder of Mother Nature's treasures without having their bodies so heavily impacted by microplastics and poor air quality. So if you want to create a meaningful, financially resilient, and climate resilient life for yourself that does a lot less to uphold the harmful elements of capitalism while bringing about that brighter future, then you too will want to find more ways to live frugally and sustainably. And if you're ready to do that and want support, I'm here and I can help you. Reach out. There's a link in the description below if you want someone to be there for you that you can actually talk to and get feedback from. Otherwise, thank you for watching this and see you in the next video.